Hey, have you heard some things about Las Vegas and maybe a little bit unsure? Maybe you're wondering, is that true? Could that really be the reality in Las Vegas? In this video, I'm going to cover 6 of the myths that some of these really irk me as well. 2 of them especially really irk me, and I'll definitely point those out when I'm mentioning them. But we're going to uncover some of those myths and decide if they're true or false. And we're going to start right now. Okay guys, so the first one to really debunk, the first myth that really gets on my nerves and really irks me as well is the whole Sin City tagline that Las Vegas gets. I understand where it comes from, but I would absolutely hate for someone to talk themselves out of moving to the Las Vegas area because they feel closely about a certain religious community and they feel it's not going to align with their religious beliefs because Vegas is Sin City. It's where people go to sin. La 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 la, blah 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 blah. It's all complete nonsense. It's not true. Yes, people do come here and do things, but ultimately there's a massive amount of religious diversity here as well. So if you do have whatever your religious community that you belong to, there is definitely going to be a place for you here and definitely somewhere you can call home, and certainly you're going to feel welcome. If I'm going to name just a few off the top of my head, we have obviously Catholic, we have Christian, we have Muslim, we have Hindi, we have Baptist, we have African Baptist, we have Church of the Latter-day Saints. I mean, there really is a lot more. That's just trying to think off the top of my head on the spot. I hadn't prepared that in my notes. But there's so many different religious communities here that you are going to be able to find one that aligns with you. And on a personal level, personally, I go to a Christian church here, the Church LV, if you are going to move here and you're looking for a Christian church to call home. If not, and you want another recommendation, I'll try and find a good recommendation for whatever your religious community is. I'll absolutely do my best to help you. Personally, I go to the Church LV, and it's amazing. If you would have said to me 5 years ago that Las Vegas would be the place that I connect with Jesus and find Jesus and get called back and really feel strongly about the New Testament and all of the teachings, and I would have said, no, Las Vegas, are you joking? That's Sin City. That's the last place I'm going to really reconnect with Jesus. But actually my walk and my connection with Jesus has actually got stronger from being here and being planted in a church in Las Vegas. So it's possible. So don't let the whole Sin City tagline put you off it. If you are looking for recommendations for whatever religion you belong to or subscribe to, then definitely let me know. You can reach out to me privately. We can have that discussion. If religion isn't something that interests you, then obviously this point isn't going to make a difference to you anyway. But just hear my heart when I'm saying this, that I don't want anybody to talk themselves out of potentially moving here just on that reason alone. The next myth to debunk, and I hear this one all the time in my comments, and that's Vegas is only about partying, drinking, gambling. And yeah, there's no denying that people come here and do that, and that's great for them. If that keeps them happy and they don't get really into any trouble, fantastic. But there's so much more to do. On the Strip alone, there's so much more to do. We have some of the world's finest restaurants, some great culinary options here on the Strip, and no matter what your budget, whether you're looking for fine dining or just a nice meal, there's just so many different options on the Strip alone. Throughout the different casinos, maybe in the Miracle Mile stores, wherever it is that you're going to be around, there's just so many great different dining options on the Strip alone. But then even off the Strip, you got some fantastic dining options as well. And some of the ones off Strip, quality-wise, are comparable to the ones on the Strip as well. So no matter what your palate's like, no matter what type of food or cuisine you're into, also with your budget, I'm pretty confident you'll find a restaurant that's going to cater to you. And it's going to be really great food, 100%. I didn't expect it with Vegas to have so many great food options, and I haven't even tried half of them yet. I'm still working my way through them. If you have got some good restaurant recommendations that are maybe not as well known, then pop that down in the comments below, and you're not just going to help me, but maybe someone else is going to find a new favorite restaurant when they are here. And then we got the world-class entertainment that we have to offer. So we have so many great shows. We've got so many great artists. I mean, some of the great shows that we have quite a few Cirque du Soleils. I went to see Cirque du Soleil Ka, absolutely amazing. You got the V Variety Show, you got the Blue Man Group, you got various different comedy shows. You've got various different acrobatic shows that compete with Cirque du Soleil on many ways as well. So, I mean, that's just a few, again, off the top of my head. And then all the music artists, whether you're into pop music, R&B, whether you're into hip-hop, whether you're into rock, there's always different musical artists here that have got residencies, as well as one-off shows as well. So living here, you get to enjoy all of that, what's on the strip, and so obviously off strip as well. I mean, I can't think of many places that are going to give you that type of entertainment options and things to enjoy. And it's not just partying, gambling, and getting drunk in nightclubs. There's a lot more that Vegas has to offer than that. The next myth I hear quite a lot is there's actually nothing to do in Vegas outside of the strip. And again, that's nonsense. I mean, yes, there's no denying that the strip is fantastic, but if you're looking for something else, there's just so many other great things to do. You know, there's the Neon Light Museum, which obviously isn't a million miles away from the strip. There's the Downtown Arts District, which is amazing. You've got Red Rock Conservation Area, which is great for walking. You've got Lake Mead, which is close by, and Hoover Dam. You got so many great parks and different things within the different communities. You got two great water parks, Carabunga Bay in Henderson, Carabunga Canyon over in the southwest, which are both great ways to cool down as well. I mean, there is a lot more to do than what you think there is to do. And when you're living here, it's even more obvious to you when you do get to live here, if that's what you're thinking. There's just so many great things to go enjoy on a daily basis that you think in your head, maybe I'm going to spend so much time on the strip, but actually there's so much more to do that isn't on the strip. That you will still go to the strip, of course you will. There's fantastic things to do on the strip, but you'll pick and choose your times of when it makes sense, because as I said, there's quite a lot more to do that's going to be off the strip. Area 51 as well, which is fantastic and expanding as well, I read recently. So definitely a great options to do off strip, but whatever it is that you're looking for, there's just always going to be something to do here. It's why a lot of my people that move here, they tell me one of the things that they wanted to leave where they were at is because where they were at, there was just nothing to do. They just felt like, almost like life was passing them by. And at least in Vegas, they know that they're going to be constantly busy. There's going to be constantly things to do if they want that. Also, if you want a peaceful life, though, you have that option in Vegas with some of our communities. So definitely, again, I think that's another myth that should be debunked. Okay, guys, we'll move on to the next point very quickly. But just before we do, if you are liking this video and thinking about moving to Las Vegas and Henderson, and that's the type of content you want to see, then definitely please do like my video. I'll absolutely appreciate it. Also, if you haven't already, then please tap on subscribe, tap on the bell for notifications as well, and then you'll definitely get my videos when I do post them. I'm trying to up it now to 2 a week, so definitely keep an eye out on those. And then if you are thinking about moving to Las Vegas or Henderson, then please do reach out. However you come to, whenever you're ready, all my details are there. I would love to help you and love to represent you, and I'll do everything I can to make the process smooth. And then drop me a comment below, and maybe you can debunk one of the myths I have, because I think everybody watching is mostly coming from California and Hawaii. So pop a comment down below and let me know where you're watching from. The next thing I hear quite a lot is Las Vegas doesn't have any seasons. And you know, in somewhat of a way, that could be quite true. I mean, we have what feels like a really long summer, and then it seems to just go straight into winter. There's maybe a couple of weeks either side that, certainly when you come out of summer into winter, maybe a couple of weeks that feel a bit like what would a fall feel like. It doesn't really last too long before the temperatures fall, excuse the pun, into winter. Before summer, as you're coming out of winter, you do feel like you have quite a nice springtime. Everything's starting to blossom more. The temperatures aren't really too hot, maybe in the 70s and the 80s before it gets to, like we are now, it's the middle of June or the start of June, and we're already in the hundreds, and this week we're going to hit 110, which I believe is the earliest in the year for a very, very long time. But before that, the last few weeks before that, we've had really decent temperatures around the 80s, the 70s. It's been quite pleasant for a few months before that. We had a bit of strong winds here and there, a bit of rain here and there. But overall, after probably February, it was quite decent up until June. So that's probably our springtime. Just fall. And you know, it's sad because fall is probably my autumn, as we call it in the UK. It's probably my favorite season. That's the one that seems to lack here. It seems to really go straight into winter. You know, sometimes around October when it's Halloween, you're still in shorts, and then suddenly the next week it's really cold again. It makes it hard to sort of have a full season. But that's just because obviously where we're at, you know, we are at a desert location. I don't think the myth is completely debunked, because I think in somewhat of a way, we do lack the traditional 4-season setup that a lot of places do have. But then, you know, you have to look at our weather. Our weather is, you know, we're in a desert. We have very much dry heat as opposed to humidity. We don't have a lot of rainfall, although we do have certain time of the year where it is like a monsoon season and we have heavy rainfall in a short period of time. We do have strong winds because we are in a valley, and then we have on average 80 degrees temperatures across the year, and we have average 300 days of sunshine. I mean, all of that added up, I don't mind sacrificing the full season to have all the other benefits that come with it. But let me know, do those temperatures and those seasonality changes sound like something that you could live with in Vegas? Let me know in the comments below. Another myth I hear all the time is we don't have any mother nature here in Las Vegas because it's a desert, it's brown, it's dry, it's dull, it's boring. Add your other descriptive word, your adjective in there to describe what Vegas is if you're along those same lines. But that actually also isn't true. Yes, we're not as lush and as green as some places, but we do have some really great mother nature. Some of our mountains and our mountain ranges, whether that's the Red Rock Conservation Area, whether that's the Spring Mountain Range, whether that's around Mount Charleston, whether that's the Black Mountain Range down in Henderson, all of those mountains and the way they are formed, for me, it looks gorgeous, and I never get tired looking at the mountains. I love how they look completely different at different parts of the day, even hour to hour, depending on the sun and if there's clouds. Some of the sunsets and sunrises that you see with the mountains are gorgeous. Different times of year, you're going to see snow on the tops of them as well. So I don't understand how you can say there's no Mother Nature here. I actually got asked this question from someone who I was showing homes to, and is moving from somewhere where it was really green and really lush. And he's like, Peter, you've moved from somewhere that's very green, and now here it's all brown and desert. How did you adjust? How did you cope? And I told him, I took my eyes from looking down and I started to look up. And when I look up, I'm just surrounded by these gorgeous mountains. Even where I'm living now, I don't have a mountain view from my window. I don't need to drive far to be able to see mountains on my day-to-day commutes. And it's the same, no matter where you live in Vegas, you might not have a mountain view per se from your home, but wherever you're driving, you're just surrounded by gorgeous mountain views. And even my kids now point out, they don't know the names of the mountains, but they're like, oh, Dad, look at there's a mountain. Oh, look at the mountain. They're almost competing with each other to find the prettiest or the best looking mountain. And then aside from that, obviously I've already touched on it, we have Lake Mead, which has got so much great nature around there as well. We've got the Bird Viewing Preserve over in Henderson, which is next to the Wetlands Park as well. And there's other little pockets that do have some great mother nature. Obviously Red Rock Conservation Area as well. Even if you're going on the smaller trails, you're going to be surrounded by a lot of great mother nature. So I don't subscribe to the fact that there isn't any. I think you just need to change your perspective and actually appreciate the ones that we have, and I certainly know I do. And then myth number 6 is another one that really irks me because I'm a parent, and obviously I've got 5 kids, ages from 11 down to 3, and I quite often hear a lot of the time people saying Vegas isn't family friendly, shouldn't bring your kids to Vegas, shouldn't move to Vegas if you have kids, and that's complete nonsense. There's so many things for the kids to do here, so many things for them to enjoy, so many great opportunities that I feel that the kids have here that probably we wouldn't have got if we moved over to the UK. And yet it bothers me though, it really does bother me that people say that Vegas isn't family friendly. I mean, some of the activities you can do with the kids, in the fact that obviously we have, as I said, 300 days of sunshine on average a year, so you can be outside, average temperatures of 80 degrees. Apart from the summer months like we're in now, it's easy to do a lot of things outside. And even in these months, if you get out very early before the sun is at its highest, you can still get quite a lot of good activities in. We try to go out around 8 or 9 o'clock sometimes just to, beat the heat. So many great playgrounds, no matter where you're going to be in Vegas, so many great playgrounds and parks and outdoor spaces for the kids to enjoy. So many great splash pads that are open during obviously the warmer months. Great way to cool down, and they're all got different ways of, squirting water and pressing different buttons, and the water comes from different ways. Really good. And it's not like a splash pad is the same and you go to another park, it's the same splash pad, completely different. So many different great sports fields as well. So obviously the playgrounds are going to have your average swings and slides and those type of things, but then there's so many great sports fields, whether that's soccer fields, whether that's baseball pitches, whether that's basketball, whether that's some places have roller hockey places, whether that's going to be tennis or pickleball or netball, you know, so many volleyball. There's just so many different sport options that kids can take part in here as well. Then obviously, as I said, you have the two water parks, Carabunga Canyon in the southwest, Carabunga Bay in Henderson. Depending on the ages, they're going to have different things that are going to appeal to different kids. My kids love Carabunga Bay so far. You know, my oldest kids are now wanting to go on all the slides. My youngest one, who was 3, this time she actually went into the lazy river for a change, and she was like a passenger princess, almost like my wife when we're driving. She just wanted to sit in the floaty and let me push her down the lazy river. She didn't want to really get in the water herself, but she loved it. She kept saying again, again, again. There's big slides there as well that the kids enjoy, and my kids definitely enjoyed the bigger slides and the wave pool, although they were a bit disappointed when we went recently. They said the waves weren't as big and fast as they were before, so I don't know if they changed something there. Carabunga Canyon is pretty similar sort of slides, and there's just, you know, so many different indoor playgrounds as well. There's Wally Wombats, there's Uptown Jungle, there's indoor trampoline places, there's indoor arcade places. I mean, there's just so many things that the kids can do. It's crazy. And then in the summer, a lot of places do summer camps. So at the moment, a lot of the recreation centres are doing summer camps as well, which just gives kids another outing, another thing to do to keep them outside and keep them mingling with other kids of their own age and keep them social. So yeah, I mean, I could be here all day. I could do a separate video on just, you know, how Vegas is family friendly. If that's something you're interested in, actually, let me know in the comments below and I'll try and compile that video for you, because it's definitely something that speaks to my heart. Just a final reminder as well, if you are thinking about moving to Las Vegas or Henderson, I would love to look after you. I'd love to represent you, whether you're buying new construction or resale. I would definitely love to take care of you. So all my details are there on the screen. Just pause it, take a screenshot, reach out however you're comfortable, whenever you're ready, and then I'll definitely do my best to look after you. And I treat all of my clients and all of my buyers and sellers like they are my own friends. So I'll definitely go above and beyond to take care of you. But until the next time, thank you for watching. You take care.